Welcome everybody at their podcast land this morning. We've got a great show tonight. We've got a recurring guest, Miss Corissa Grant from worthychaos.com. She makes a wonderful, wonderful webisode. It's called Redemption, and as we're talking about the season 7 of it. And just let you know, this is the C-list villains with Villainous Red, Evil Fett, the cultivators of comic culture and cosplay culture on Saturdays and Sundays. So let's take it away. We want to welcome Corissa to the show. Welcome, Corissa.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I hear a feedback. Is that me?
Like, is it like a echo?
Kind of, but not really.
How about now?
I don't hear it now. It was like a squeak.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right. I probably heard that same squeak. Yeah.
But you don't hear it now, right?
Not now. I don't think so.
Okay, great. We're starting out great here at C-list Villains this morning. It's early.
It's okay. It's okay.
Just to let you know, Corissa, we're going to do a little backup for some of the people that didn't see the last episode with you. Corissa makes this great webisode, our web comic. It's called Redemption. It's a kind of a sci-fi horror adventure comic that's set in a now time future. Our era. It's quite
far away.
Quite exciting. It's quite exciting with a little bit of angel and devil feel to it. I've read it. I like it. It's good, and you should be proud of yourself for the work that you've done, Corissa.
Why, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a long series. But it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Supernatural in the Silent Hill town in the Resident Evil world with Good Omens and Evil Dead tossed in for fun. So it's got quite a bit going on. Quite chaotic, hence the name. But
that's what gives it flavor, though, right?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it's definitely got flavor to it.
So let's talk about the new episode that's out, 7. Where's it taking us? Where's it going? And we already kind of know where it's been, but where's it going in number 7?
Sorry, I only got photo for 6, so 4, 5, and 6.
So issue 7 is the final issue of book 1. So there's 5 books total, and this is book 1. And they're all connected, but they're just kind of different environments, we can say. So issue 7 concludes them in town and what they're going through, and kind of answer a lot of questions that people might have by what's going in the last 6 issues. And then it leads into book 2. And it's a little bit longer. It's 38 pages of story. And they're all, a lot happens. It's very action packed, but it explains a lot, and you get to see Anubis and the angels and demons fight, and Hellhound chasing them, and it's a lot. But yeah, so there's, well, if you like action and horror, then you'll like it. If you don't like action and cursing, you won't like it.
Well, I'll love it because I love action and cursing. Too bad I can't do more of it on the C-list Villains, but we try to keep it PG-13 here.
No, that's okay. You should, but you can still cuss.
You get 1 F word per issue, per episode.
It's awesome.
But yeah, so we're on Kickstarter till Halloween, and Halloween is my 1 year in comics.
Wow! Congratulations!
Thank you.
A round of applause.
Super excited to celebrate that. We're moving right along. Issue 7's already done. It's getting lettered now. Issue 9 has already been sketched out layouts, so we're getting ahead. And issue 7, aka book 2, chapter 1, will be January 8th, and we'll start the new year with our 2nd book.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. Each of your episodes kind of has a different feel to it. What feel is 7 for the listeners out there?
7 is a tiny bit more chaotic than the others, because they go through different environments there. Like they're in a house on fire, they're dealing with things that are going on. They have angels confronting them. They have angels and demons fighting. They have hellhounds chasing them. They have a demon that captured them. They're trying to get away in the woods, and then they get trapped at the end. So, so it's a lot. It's a lot happening. But all of it's important. And trust me, I would shorten it if I could, because I'd save a fortune.
Well, we don't want to shorten. We want the feel. We want to dive into it deep. So we're glad that you made it longer and a little more detailed, because some of the readers out there that may subscribe to your Kickstarter, they might just get number 7 and they didn't get the other 6. So if you're doing a little backstory in it, that will help them jump right in and want chapter 2 or episode. So that's great.
Yeah, so to start off, to give anyone new, so in the very beginning of these 7 episodes, issues, you see a dream of the past of Seraphina and Draven. Now, Seraphina is an angel descendant, and Draven is a demon descendant, and they met as teenagers. They think they're humans. We know otherwise because we go through the fathers and we can see through them, starting in issue 3. But in the beginning of issue 1, you see them about to run away together. And what happens is her brother becomes possessed by a demon and murders her parents and goes after her. She calls Draven, knowing he's on his way back, tells him not to come because her brother's going to kill her. And of course he comes right away. He goes in the front door. She jumps out the back window and is trying to get to him. He slips on her blood and calls her name. She turns around to go back, and she gets hit by a car and taken to another city in a coma for months. And Draven is arrested for the murder. So for 10 years, they think the other one's dead. She trains as a supernatural hunter, and he trains it as an assassin. Now, the thing is, Seraphina was created from this angelic weapon that the angels and demons want. It can tip the scale of the war between heaven and hell in either's favor. So they're trying to get that. The only thing is they can only get it when it's activated and they're together. So the angels and demons trick them into being in the same town together and then merge the entire town with hell, trying to get this weapon from them. So it's a survival horror with Romeo and Juliet in hell, however you want to see it. But it's mostly them trying to survive against their fathers. The only problem is the major way or easiest way for the demons and angels to activate it is actually to kill her, take her soul, and use it to activate the weapon. So unfortunately, Seraphina and Draven aren't for all that. So they're fighting against everything that comes after them, including hellhounds, zombies, zombie mermen, ghosts, Anubis, humans, anything that could possibly think of, vampires, yeah, we get to see the strings being pulled that they don't understand are being pulled. So we get to see a point of view they don't, and for anyone that doesn't know, the story is written by 2 different people. I start off the story and I write everything Seraphina, all her actions, her speech, thoughts, everything. And then I send it to my co-writer, who then writes the chapter in Draven's point of view. So my co-writer Jess does all of the Draven's vocals, thoughts, everything. So when you're reading it, there's 2 different personalities there because there's 2 different writers for the main 2 characters.
Let me ask you, in the collaboration with you and your co-writer, do you guys talk about it before? Or you just kind of go cold and do yours and let him or the other co-writer do it theirs, and then you merge them together? Or is there some collaboration beforehand to get the storyline straight, or no?
So we get a generalized idea. We pretty much know the direction we're going, but we don't outline it. We don't have any set thoughts on how to get there. Just a generalized, we're going to go through here. And then when I start writing, I have no idea what I'm going to write or what's going to happen. And then my co-writer has no idea what it's going to be until Jess gets the actual chapter. So we have a generalized thing, but we don't outline it. We just kind of play it by ear and go like that. And I am, for anyone that also doesn't know, these were 5 novels already written, not published. It was just for fun. and they're being converted into comics. So it's already written for series 1, and it's about 45 issues written.
Oh, I see. So it's 2 first person, and then the reader has a third person perspective of the book.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You've thrown pretty much the kitchen sink at these people, at your protagonists. It's like, well, are you looking to add more monsters and demons into this mix, or?
Oh, you have no idea. So, so for book 2, they're trapped in a haunted asylum. The asylum is completely taken over by ghosts. It has a life of its own, and they cannot get out. So they're fighting against zombies, giant salamanders, and ghosts. Also, there are in the basement. There are chameleon vampire bats. So it's chameleons mixed with vampire bats, so they can hide and you can't really see them. I'm also gonna have plushies. I have new plushies every book. So this plushie for this book we had the zombie merman, which was sold. We still have 1 Anubis plushie left.
That one's cool.
Yeah, our hellhound was sold, but we'll probably have another one in book 2. And we do have 2 skeleton bird plushies available. And all these are designed by me and created by Down Home Textiles, and they're only available through us. They're all handmade, and they're absolutely gorgeous. That's the lyrics to our song, by the way, that you just zoomed through. So if anyone plays the song, plays the video, that's the song in the background. The lyrics are based on our characters. And it's an add-on for $3. You get the vocal and the instrumental version, and we're also have a new one being made for $2. So we're hoping to have a new song per book and new plushies per book. So the next book will have the salamander monster plushies, the chameleon vampire bat plushies, and zombies in straitjackets. So we'll also be there.
So how are you going to translate book 1 to book 2? What's going to be the bridge, the gap then?
Well, that's what happens in issue 7. So issue 7 leads into, so what happens at the end is what leads them into it. So you have to read it. But it was not planned, I can assure you, for them to run into there. It just, the angels and demons caused it when they tried to stop it. They actually did not want them to go in because it would have it would make the weapon harder for them to get to. So while they fought over trying to prevent them to get into it, they actually caused it. So now
what is the name of the weapon? Does the weapon have a name?
No, it's just an angelic weapon. It's something, I'm sure Remnal has a name for it, but her father is the one that created the weapon. He used to use it. I don't know if you know anything about scripture, but Remnal is the angel that would judge souls on earth to go to heaven. So he would store them in that. And then Easma, who is Draven's father, would take those souls and try to feed off of them because he devours souls. So they have been feuding for centuries. And then when the angel used the weapon to create the daughter, which is Seraphina, it caused the weapon to become hers. And now it became a huge issue that they can't get to it. So they've been trying to get this weapon for a long time. Something happened in the prequel that we haven't shown yet. We're probably going to show it in flashbacks in like book 4 or 5, but it shows why this time it's different, and what caused it, and how their guardian angel screwed them over. So not on purpose, but
can I ask a crazy question? Because I'm a crazy guy. If the weapon devours souls or collects souls, if i.e. a ghost or something that doesn't have a soul, it doesn't work for them.
It doesn't just suck up souls. It can suck up souls, but you'd have to activate it to do it. So it has the power of souls in it, but Seraphina and Draven don't know that. They think it's a literal keychain. Like they just carry it around with them. And it hasn't been activated because when they were separated for 10 years, Draven had it. So Seraphina wasn't anywhere near it. So it needs her to activate it. So that's why they brought them together. But yeah, it doesn't just suck up souls. It's just used to store souls.
Okay.
So yeah, and then they use the power of those souls as the weapon. So it has multiple purposes. Like it's also a gyroscope. If anyone looks it up, you could see it's only missing a ring, which is something they have to find to use. So eventually they can turn it into a gyroscope, which will lead it to things that they need to do to destroy the weapon. Right now, you cannot destroy it. But there is a way to do it, and that'll be series 2 where they try to destroy this weapon. So
nice transition. Let me ask you another question. You're using a lot of scripture. I know I asked this question in the first time we spoke with you, but your religious background, our non-religious background, really fuels the story. So I think a lot of this is coming from your personal religious experience of maybe growing up, in a religious school or a private school, or going to church on Sundays or something like that.
Yeah, I was forced to go to Sunday school. And my mom was very adamant about it. I did it for, I think it's the first 8 years. I think it's the first 8 years of school. So I think you stopped for high school, but yeah, before that it was every Sunday. And I actually, ironically enough, it kind of had the opposite effect because they didn't teach us anything about it. And it bothered me because I was stuck in the school, and they taught us about, drugs and alcohol and family and friends and stuff. And they never really taught us anything that I can remember that had to do with anything scripture. So I looked it up. I did all the research and I found it fascinating. But then, of course, I went and did research on Egyptian, Greek, Celtic, all that stuff. And all of that is in the story. So right now it's there's obviously a little Egyptian flair to it with Anubis in there. It'll have more Egyptian later. I'm working on a 0 issue, which will kind of show you who pulled the strings, each character that pulled the strings. It's going to be in the point of view of 6 different characters that you get to see what created issue 1. And part of that's going to have some Greek mythology in there. And of course the Egyptian mythology. And then in series 2, all of it is there: Celtic, Greek, Egyptian, and Catholic, and they all go, or Christianity, and it all goes into war with each other. So it'll be a fascinating war in series 2.
I'm curious, you and your co-writer, how did you guys come together? Have you guys been friends for a long time, or is it just out of necessity, or how?
So originally, I don't know if you guys know Resident Evil 2, but I originally was obsessed with the game Resident Evil 2. And I decided when I found out that role-playing online with writing was a thing, I actually started role-playing as Claire Redfield. And I did that for 15 years. And during that time, I held on to this idea about this angelic weapon that many writers had wanted, but I just didn't find the right one for me. They were all amazing writers. Don't get me wrong. If anyone ever hears this, you guys were amazing writers and I loved all of them. However, it just didn't have the right feel to it. So for 11 years, I held on to that. And then I met my co-writer, Jessica, under a completely different, character. I was playing Faith from Buffy, and she was playing Daryl from Walking Dead. And, we hit it off, but like within 24 hours, if even that long, I just knew that she was the one that had to write the other part of the story. And I was very hesitant to ask her. I didn't know her that long. And giving someone a role, I don't know if you know about role play, it's a very personal thing, and it requires a lot of the other person. I mean, you're going into this role that you have no idea what it is or how to play it. But I said, do you want to take this role? And it's something that I've held on to for 11 years. And she said, I've never taken a role before and I never wanted to, but yeah, I'm going to take it. So she took it. She read the first starter I sent her was 4,000 words.
Wow.
And she was instantaneously hooked. And we just have not stopped writing since. And we celebrated our 3 years 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Thanks. We watched horror movies and ordered pizza. That's how we celebrated that one. But yeah, we did not know each other for the longest time. And now she's like my sister. Like, we are super close. We talk nonstop. She just sent me a message. We talk nonstop, day and night. And it's turned into a very, very strong relationship, friendship type going thing. And if she was male, my husband would be incredibly jealous. So
let me ask you about Muse, because I make costumes and I'm a cosplayer. I just can't get into it like kind of like a factory and do it. I got to be in the mood or in the jazz or whatever you want to call it. How about your writing and your creativity? Do you just sit down and go, or does it? Oh wow,
yeah.
That's incredible.
All I need is my husband to not be around. So there's no talking. I need the TV to weirdly not be playing but be paused. I don't know why. I'm dyslexic, so my only thought process is dyslexics see movement for some reason. I don't know the connection. They see movement, but there's nothing there. But for some reason, if I pause the videos, then it doesn't seem to bother me. So my pretty much, I sit down on the couch with my laptop, I turn the TV on, I pause it, and then I write. And I can write generally anywhere between 2,000 to 6,000 words in a sitting, and it usually takes me I can do about 2,000 words an hour.
Wow.
And that's without any prep work. I just sit down and I just write it. I'm very lucky to be able to do that. We already have over 100 issues written for both series put together, same characters, but 2 different series. And yeah, it's just a passionate obsession. We're just completely obsessed with it, and we can't seem to stop. So here we are.
Let me ask you some con questions, because I'm a big con guy, and Red likes to go. How many cons do you try to go to a year and promote?
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I hate tabling at cons. I like talking to fans. I like doing local cons. The people that know me, I really like that. But I'd rather attend cons than have a table at them. I just hate being behind the table. I just feel so trapped, and I miss out everything that's happening. I went to 10, and the only one that I'd probably do again is Nashville. No, mostly they're too loud and too crowded to actually get to talk to people. The really big cons don't work for me. I need to pitch my story and all that stuff. So generally the local ones work better. So yeah, I'm going to stick to local. Next year I have Nashville I can sign up for in November. I'm going to do that. And then maybe 1 or 2 in Knoxville. And that's probably it. But I do have a hardcover I'm creating. So that might be an easier sell, because people sometimes like to see it all together. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I'd rather be there in line getting Sean Astin's autograph than sitting there watching the line for like 3 hours, which was upsetting because I really wanted to go get his autograph. So
try to get the full Hobbit lineup for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Like, I want to get all of Supernaturals. That's my goal in December. They're coming to Nashville, and I want to get their autographs. But you have to buy $800 tickets to get Dean and Sam's autograph. Or if you get lucky and you get the $160 ticket to get it. The only problem is my husband wants their autograph too, so it's double the price.
$1,600 now.
$1,600, which is a little bit trickier, plus hotel if I wanted to, be closer and go for more than a couple days. So, yeah,
well, you better get a lot more than just an autograph for that kind of price.
It's incredibly expensive. I'm going to be honest, I was always a photographer. Like, I would go and pay for autographs because then you can like hug them, put your arm around them, or whatever. My husband prefers the autographs, and now that I have a comic, I want the autograph. But I always did photographs, and it was actually cheaper. It was somewhat not cheaper, but it was just easier to get. You could get cheapo tickets for $90, and then you pay for your photograph for $200 or whatever, and then you go. Yeah, and for a photograph, you both can be in it. So it's $200 for 2 people. Actually, it's up to 3. But your autograph, you need 1 per. So it's a little bit trickier.
Yeah, it's just proof that you were with this person versus just an autograph or you can't counterfeit.
Yeah. So, but I gotta say, I've been to a lot of conventions. I used to go to anime conventions and dress up, cosplay. And I used to I did a Vampire Diaries one, which I'm not the hugest fan of the show, but I did go try it. I didn't like it as much, but Supernatural, man, it's amazing each time. They're the nicest people you'll ever meet. They're so down to earth and so fun to be around that it's amazing to go. So whoever doesn't, it's expensive as all hell. I'm going to give you that. But whoever loves Supernatural should definitely go to a con before it's too late, because the show's over. So they're not under contract anymore. They can quit going to the cons anytime they want. Their contract ended like mid this year, I think. So now they can go to the cons. So, but yeah, definitely recommend it.
It's kind of it's sad that they had to cancel the I guess the prequel series, right? The Winchesters, which is pretty bad. But would you prefer the main actors, or would you get something more from like Eric Kripke, the creator of?
I prefer the original actors. Yeah, I mean, I eventually, if I ever capable in the 20 years from now, whenever, to actually do anything with this, if it's ever get popular enough, I want to do an animated series, and I want it to be that you have to have at least guest starred on Supernatural to do the voice. Just like Harry Potter, you have to be born in the UK. You don't have a choice. I kind of want that stipulation. But yeah, I love the show, and they're the their inspiration. Them and Resident Evil are the two that prompted me the most, and Buffy too, of course. I love Buffy and all that stuff. And in book 2, I actually do have a couple of artists from my favorite things. I'm still searching for a Supernatural comic one. The one I found was too busy, and 2 others didn't answer. But I have a Resident Evil comic artist, the interior artist that did the Resident Evil comic book, has done an amazing cover for me that I absolutely adore. It's one of my favorite covers, and I'm super excited. And also I got a Buffy artist from the comic book that did the interior art, Carl Moline. He's amazing. I got a Army of Darkness, the interior artist, Kevin Sharp, who's absolutely amazing too. So the next 2 that I need are Supernatural and Silent Hill. And I contacted Tristan Jones, who did Downpour, but I have not got an answer back. But I'm not going to give up. You just bother them enough, and eventually, hopefully, he'll do it. So,
let me ask a childhood question, because my childhood was riddled with horror movies because I'm a big horror movie genre fan.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you were too. What is your top 3 horror movies that you say are like your Mount Rushmore, but instead of like 5, just the 3?
I would say, since the first horror movie I ever saw when I was 6 was Nightmare on Elm Street 3, so that's 1. And 2 would be Shaun of the Dead and Wrong Turn. Nice.
What about you, Red?
Sorry, I was like paying attention to the.
your top 3 horror movies.
Let the Right One In, the French version. What was the other one? Dawn of the Dead, and what's that one with the haunted town? It's by Stephen King.
The Stand.
No, sorry, it wasn't Stephen King. It's Salem's Lot.
That is Stephen King.
Well, that's Stephen King too. The television show with David Soul back in the early 80s, or the remake?
I think it was the remake, because it was like strictly on HBO. That movie.
Okay, here's mine. I have to say the original George A. Romero, Night of the Living Dead, Phantasm, and Halloween 2 by John Carpenter.
And Miss So is asking, it's actually hers, is our Aliens, Event Horizon, and Sunshine.
Good choices. Yeah, she says that she enjoyed the Resident Evil movies and Silent Hill. If you love them, you're going to love the comic book. The first book is in a Silent Hill-inspired town where the town is merging with hell. So they're trapped there. You could see the crack forming while she walks in, so she's the one that caused it. And of course, it's Resident Evil. And Resident Evil plays into play more in 2 and 3 and on, because 2 is kind of like Resident Evil 1, where they're in the haunted asylum with the zombies and everything. But book 3 is 10 issues of them in a zombie-infested city where they meet up with 2 other survivors, and they try to survive to get out of this city. So yeah, you'd really enjoy the comic book. And
Supernatural, they did a Scooby-Doo episode Do you
Yes.
you think you'll do one with Redemption with Anubis playing Scooby?
You know what? I might now. I haven't done that before. But so I'm doing a mini series. I'm working on a lot of stuff. I'm writing the issue 0. I'm writing the origins, which happens before the prequel, where you can see where the whole thing started between the demon and the angel and how they were created and all that stuff. But I'm working on a mini series that's going to have them cross over into different indie stories and anything like public domain. So yeah, I would love to do something like that. And again, if I ever make enough money to be allowed to, I would love to get licensing from Supernatural to have them do a hunt with Sam and Dean or something as that. So yeah, I would love that. So we'll see.
Are you gonna make a little love triangle or quad?
Yeah, because Draven gets jealous over any reason whatsoever. So right now in like book 3, he's jealous over the character that's technically inspired by Leon from Resident Evil. But yeah, if Dean was there hitting on Seraphina, yeah, there'll be some stuff going down. So
yeah, I would imagine Dean will be all up on her.
Yeah, oh yeah, I totally can see that. Yeah, and I would love to do that. That would absolutely be a love thing going on. And since I love Dean, I was always a Dean fan since day one. That'd be tricky because that'd be like Seraphina, you got Dean over there. But yeah, so
I mean, are you watching Jensen Ackles in The Boys as well?
I've seen parts of it. I have not seen it all. I want to see his new show. He's like in a cop show kind of thing. Okay. I have not seen that, but I do want to see that. I love seeing Jensen in anything. I loved him in Bloody Valentine. I loved him originally before I saw Supernatural. I saw him in Dark Angel, and I was always so mad because she was so mean to him, and he kept trying to help her, and he kept saving her life, and she's just such a B word to him. So I always hated that, and I didn't like season 2 as much as 1, and I was mad because he was in season 2. I have the DVDs. You can't watch it online. I'm still mad about that. But yeah, I've always been a fan of Jensen, and I love that I met him. I love that I got to spend 30 minutes talking to him, and
he is a beautiful man. He's a beautiful man.
He ages amazing. He's my age. He's like 3 days younger, I think, than me. He ages incredibly well.
What about his performance in Smallville?
Yeah, I remember that. That was good too. Yeah, Dark Angel is amazing. That show had such potential, but I didn't like the way 2 was going. It's I don't know. It got too serious and too complicated, and I don't know.
Everybody just watched it for Jessica Alba.
Well, yeah, she's hot and in leather, of course.
Again, everybody, we're talking to Corissa Grant of WorthyChaos.com and her webisode, Redemption, Chapter 7. So we're very happy that you're here, and the fans seem to love your stuff. So I'm going to ask you like a personal question. What are you most proud of? The whole thing, or is there just like something that your heart just loves about this that you created?
I love the whole thing. I mean, I love the story. I've read the story over and over, all 5 books. I never get tired of reading it. But getting to see my characters on the the page doing what I pictured them to do in my head, and the emotion I get to see and the bond between the 2 characters get to grow. I love every single page of it. I'm super lucky to have an artist that's fast and loves the story, because I could not do this without him. He's incredibly an amazing artist, Jonas DaCosta. And for book 2, we actually got a new artist, a new colorist to give him more time, and a new letterist. So now my artist can just focus on the art, which is really the most important for him to focus on. So I mean, all the coloring and everything was great before, but we just wanted to upgrade it a little bit. So hopefully everyone likes it.
Speaking of the artist, did you have input on how the art was formed, how you wanted it to look, or you just let the artist go with the?
I have no
story?
say in anything. I don't even have say in the panels. Like he just gets completely over. I've had to. We butt heads in the beginning, and don't take it from me that he's hard to work with. I'm the hard one to work with, but he wanted to do his vision, and to me, I'm like, follow the script. And it took me halfway through the first one we worked on to realize that he knows better than me when it comes to panels. So I pushed. I turned back how many panels there are. I pulled back. So instead of 5 to 6 panels, there's like 3 to 4. It gives him room to do what he wants to do because he makes all the action packedness, I used to say small panel, big panel. Now I say screw it. He just does whatever the hell he wants. And it worked out beautifully because everyone loves his panel work. They love the action sequences. It's kind of like a comic movie novel. We have thought bubbles that comics used to have in the day, but back then they were exposition. Now you get inside the head of the character like you would if you were reading a novel. Which is the point. We want you to enjoy it like a novel and get into the characters' heads, enjoy their emotions and their struggles, and find out what they're thinking and feeling. And that's an important part of it, especially with Draven, because not only is he part demon, he's also an assassin. He clearly loves and has a deep bond with Seraphina, but he just cannot get those feelings out. So he never gets to really tell her that. But he would absolutely do anything for her. He would die or kill for her and whatever it takes. So she's the worthy chaos in the story.
I see.
Yeah. She's worth it for him, and that's why he does everything he does. So yeah.
Let me ask you another question. Doing these interviews on podcasts or online, do you dread it, or is it something that you embrace? Because you're very free talking, and it looks like you enjoy doing this, but it could be just nerves or whatnot too. So I'm asking you.
I'm going to be completely honest. When I first started, I didn't ever want to do it. I was paranoid and scared and totally freaked out. And now that I've done, I think the count's over 120. I actually really do enjoy it. I like talking to people about my story. I like getting the ideas out there, and I like discussing, answering questions and getting what people's background. So now I look forward to it, and I love doing it. Yeah, I still get nervous, but I love doing it now. So
well, we appreciate you here at Sealess Villains. We really do.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I love coming on, and you guys are always great, and I really appreciate it. I would love to come back with book 2.
We got open doors for you.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear.
Can you give us more information about your Kickstarter now, as far as
so
the next bundle?
So this Kickstarter, the easiest way to find it is through the link you see there, or searching Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter is super fast, but the only thing that pops up. And we have merch galore. I have been called Merch Queen by quite a few. We have plushies. We have Anubis plushies. We have Skeleton Bird plushies. We have a ton of plushies. We have handmade statues. We have buttons, pins, metal covers, everything you could possibly have ever wanted. We have. But I also make it really simple for people. So you're coming into issue 7, chapter 7, as we call it. And being that, you might not want to get a catch-up tier. You might just want to start with issue 1, and you can do that. We have issue 1 available, both in a PDF and a printed. And then you could buy more back issues if you want to. We have all back issues as PDFs or printed in the add-ons. We also have a small catch-up tier that's right there. That's 1, 2, 3. We have handmade statues. If you want to scroll down, you can show some of the handmade statues. We have there's 3D statues too, but there's handmade statues. So these are the 3D statues. We have 3 Anubis ones. And if you scroll down, these are the plushies. The Hellhound sold out. So our Merman just got sold. But we have the bust for the characters, and we have the very popular. If you go back up, you're scrolling. Sorry. Right there is our handmade Anubis statue.
One down, Red. One down. One
Down
down.
a little bit. There you go.
There we
So
go.
that's our handmade statue. And next campaign, we should have the handmade statues of the hellhounds that are coming. I showed some of my fans when I got the pictures, and one's already sold.
Wow.
So I'll have one hellhound statue probably available for the next one. But yeah, we love merch. You know, plushies are our bread and butter, really. They're all designed by me. And they're created and made handmade by Down Home Textiles, and they're all unique. And absolutely love doing our monsters in them. For book 2, we're going to have new monsters in plushie. The large salamanders. We're going to have the salamander monsters, the chameleon vampire bats, and our zombies in a straitjacket will be available.
So all your merch, is it local? Is it all from Kentucky or?
So the plushies are Georgia. Georgia. You know.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Looks like you have the
I do try to stay local. Like I like to go to. I missed it last night. We drove all the way close to it, and then realized that it was in the wrong spot and 40 minutes away in traffic. But I like to go to the local vendors and check out what they do. And I'm hoping, thanks to October, that we'll have more vendors nearby. And I love finding local people to do stuff for me. So it's a lot more fun.
It looks like you have the original pages on sale as well.
Those were the coloring book pages.
Okay.
We have 2 pages of original art, but they were in the last campaign, and they'll probably be in book 2. We don't have any of this. What you see here is about 40% of the merch I actually own.
Wow.
So I can't overwhelm everybody, but you know, we have the gold-plated coins and metal bookmarks. I have 4 other kinds of coins. I have 3 other kinds of 3D printed statues. I have more plushies here. I have pillow plushies and everything. So yeah, there's a lot going on. So I put a lot of money and time and heart into this. And you know, it's not about profit. I don't really ever care if we have profit. The only thing I really care about is preferably making enough to pay my artist. You know, because I don't mind paying for merch out of pocket, but the artist needs to get paid. So that's the goal of the Kickstarter, is to be able to pay my artist each time. And issue 8 is already done. It's getting lettered now, and issue 9 has been sketched out, so we're on our way. Thank you. Yeah. And we have an embroidered bookmark too that's very popular. So I think there's like 4 left.
Jessica are not taking anything as far as the payment end right now. Your co-writer.
What happened?
You and your co-writer are not taking any kind of I guess any of the I guess the returns from every purchase.
No, there's no profit made. I mean, you don't even want to know how much we'll put in this. But yeah, there probably won't be profit for another year or two, but mostly because we put so much into it. I mean, you got to we printed out 7, and we also had 2 before that, but 1 got replaced because we didn't think it was up to standard. So that was 5,000 pretty much thrown away. And then it threw away another $4,000 because we didn't think it was up to standard. So yeah, the comic book has to be as best as we could. And that's why we've added a new colorist for book 2. We added a new letterer for book 2, and hopefully that upgrades it a little bit for people. I like the new coloring. My co-writer doesn't. It's more bright and vibrant, and she likes the dark one. But we compromised, and hopefully people like it.
Well, the fans out there can see how passionate you are about this. So I think that says that everything, in your face and in your voice and your tone, they could tell that this is your love, and that's why it's so special.
Yeah, it is. Our motto here is a story. The story is life. So everything revolves around the story. My husband is building a shed out back by hand, so that when I get the hardcovers, I have to buy 500 at a time. We have a place to put them. So that's pretty much what he's working on now. So everything revolves around our story.
For every bundle, are you offering autographs on the books as well? Because
so right now for $5 in the you buy you can get it as an add-on. It's $5. You can get signed anything, or if you get the 3 covers for signature. The signature is included. And also the higher tier, which is the Anubis statue and the the metal covered ketchup tier. These signatures are free. Yeah.
Nice. All us comic book nerds want a signature on our books. We want that.
Yeah.
All the creators involved to, put their stamp of approval on that thing. That's their work. That's their love.
Yeah, absolutely. We love it. Yeah. And that was one of the greatest ego boosts to the cons, is the ones that bought an extra one to be signed and not read. That was nice. I like that. Or the ones who put their picture with me. I really like that too. That was like, I think 2 or 3 did it. And I love that. I was like, really?
Isn't that a rush when someone asks you for your photograph? It's such a rush.
It was an absolute rush. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So yeah.
A shameless plug. I mean, I'd like to put my signed books in a comic capsule, get it nice protected. And
I just sent my issue 1 to be graded. So yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Nice. We hope it gets at least a 9.8.
Yeah, me too.
So do you read comics yourself? I mean, being a comic creator, do you read them too?
So in the 90s, I read mainstream, Ghost Rider, Nightwing, all those. Now I only read indie. So I read Laurie Catala's, which is Path of the Pale Rider. She's live for another 3 days. Zombies and Cowboys, go back that. And if you back both, there's a print that you get that has both our characters in it. And you can see Draven all hulked out because he's jealous that he's touching characters. If you go to updates, you can actually see it.
I see.
Yeah, go to updates, and it should be the first one. So hit more. You passed it. It's the first one all the way at the top. There it is. One more up.
No more up.
Should say free print. There it is. So if you click on, there you go. If you click on read more, you'll see the print. So scroll down a little bit.
Let's all do this together.
One more.
And Anubis is cool.
Yeah, that's the trading card. Here is the print. So you could see her character Jude is about to kiss Seraphina's hand, and Draven is not thrilled. So yeah, he's about to kill him. And then you have Anubis on the right and her zombie bear on the left. So you get that for free if you back both of ours. But you only have 3 more days to back hers. So the link is at the bottom, or you could do pale-rider.com.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're a comic book nerd too, because you fit in with me and Red.
Yeah. Comics were definitely meant to be read and enjoyed.
Yes. I tell everybody that's how I learned how to read myself is a comic book. I didn't because I have some ADD and whatnot too, and reading a textbook or something like that was just tedious, but you could really concentrate on the comic book because it was less about the print but more about the story. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm dyslexic, and our it's a lot easier to do the comic books than to read a book. I used to read novels all the time, but it's sometimes you have to reread paragraphs, so it's nice to have the comic books and the pictures and everything, and nothing beats seeing my characters on the page.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
I tried so hard to find an artist, and this one just knocked it out of the park instantaneously. I didn't need any changes to it. I was just like, you're hired. So it worked out amazingly. And that's the trading card, by the way. We're $102 away from the glossy trading card stretch goal. Right now, we passed the first stretch goal where no matter what tier you get 20 other indie PDF issue ones. And if you're a returning backer, there's 4 new ones. So there's 20 total, but 4 new ones. I try to add new ones each time, but I want my fellow creators to get seen too. So good morning.
There's our other co-host right there. Who woke up too late.
Hi, Ian. How are you doing, buddy? My friend, let's give another shameless plug for all your wonderful work that you did, and we'd like to hear that.
Sure. For anyone new coming in, it's if you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Supernatural, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Good Omens, or The Evil Dead, or Stranger Things, you would love this comic book. It's action-packed. It's got great art, great action. A lot happens. All our comic books, except for I think one issue 5 is 24 pages. The rest are all 28 to 38 pages for the same price. They're all 80-pound glossy weight paper, and they're absolutely beautiful. And they get better as they go. The artwork just keeps increasing and getting better. So absolutely, give it a read. Try it out. We have PDFs. If you got a $5 PDF, you still get the other 20 PDFs. And all our tiers have the PDF too. So if you want to get a higher tier, you still get the PDF. And you get it in black and white and color. And we're not sure we're doing that for book 2 because of the new way we're doing it. So enjoy it while you can. We're going to try to do it, but it's going to be a little bit different. My artist used to do everything. He used to do letter, color, ink, pencil, everything. And now we have a growing team to it. So it's going to be a little bit different, but hopefully we can still do it. But for now, there it is.
Can you give us a little teaser on who's actually controlling the story here?
You mean like in real life or in this actual story?
Actual story.
The actual story. Actually, funny story. We've met him once in issue 1. He is the man that set up Draven to be arrested for the murders. His name is Davies, and he is a human, and he pulls the strings of all the angels, all the demons, and all the humans. And you'll see that in issue 0, where his true evilness comes out, and you'll see him also in book 2 and book 3 and on. And he's going to be a major part of the following books. Right now, he's a slight mystery, but he is Draven's boss. And who trained him to be an assassin. So he's one of the most evil creatures I've ever had.
You say he's more than human.
Yeah, he's human, but he's worse than the demons. So he's the worst. All right. Yeah. He's selfish and greedy and loves power. So, but he's very suave about it to say. So he's like a great, huge manipulator, which makes him even more. He'll kill you with a smile kind of thing, or a smirk is more his thing. So yeah. I can't wait to get more into his character. He comes out really in book. You get to see how evil he is right away in book 2 and how he manipulates everything. And it's just so much fun to see that on page. But yeah, he's the one controlling it all from the day 1. So 10 years ago, day 1, probably before that. Good question, though. I've never been asked that, so that was a good question.
Good job, Brett.
Yeah.
He's alluding to it like there's somebody else controlling the
Yes. You're the only one that caught on to that, though. No one's ever, and I've done 120 episodes, so you're the only one.
Because there just can't be just one. I mean, there's got to be somebody else above him, possibly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a long line of the whole story doesn't come out until you read all 5. But then it continues on because of what happened. So it actually gets you get to see more of it in series 2. And series 2 we're still writing, but we're like 8 issues in. So we're getting there. By the time this series is done, 45 issues for this one. So it'll probably be done by then, hopefully.
There's a future in an omnibus to have all the issues.
Yep. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a box set eventually, and it'll have a lot of stuff. So for book 1, there is going to be a hardcover for it. It's in the works and it's available soon, and it's going to be all 7 issues, 222 pages. And it's going to be upgraded a little bit. The font and stuff were redone in issue 2. A lot of the editing was redone. Some panels were updated. But when the omnibus comes, we'll probably have a big redo for all of them. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
It's perfect.
Well, we just want to let you know that we appreciate your work, your passion, and everything. We love you here at the C-List Villains, Carissa.
Aw, thank you guys. Make me blush.
No, we really do. I mean,
I know. No,
it's good to have a guest that really feels the work, and we know that you do. So we
Yeah.
just want to let you know here at the Sealess Villains that we appreciate you and we love your work.
Thank you. I can't wait to come back to show everyone the book 2 and the new art and lettering and everything. I'm so excited to see it all. I haven't even seen the lettering yet. I literally hired the letterer this morning for issue 8. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
2 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see how that goes.
So that's an exclusive here at the Sealess Villains, right?
Yeah, now the exclusive.
To the moon!
So yeah, there you go. Exclusively a new letterer for a new letterer for book 2. So yeah,
Wonderful, wonderful.
So before we wrap this up, I mean, do you want to give the audience your where to get a hold of you other than that?
sure. Like I said before, you can search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter. We're there, or you can follow the link, theworthychaos.com. You can also find me on Facebook. It's Corissa Grant, or we have a Facebook group that we just started that has 700 members, and it's the Worthy Chaos Facebook group. And I'm on Twitter, which whatever it's called now, and I have about 5,000 followers on there.
Wow.
That's at worthy_chaos. And we like to post pages and all that stuff. So definitely excited to do all that. Yeah.
And also an IG page, correct?
Yeah, I do. That's also at Worthy. I think that's at Worthy_chaos too. I think they all are. Twitter too. I'm not as active on there. I probably should be, but I couldn't figure out how to work it and find people. So now I'm everywhere else. But yeah, and anyone, new creators and everything, I'm the unofficial PR person for the new, for anyone new. So if you want to contact me on Facebook, I've helped at least 4 people get started and get interviews with, people like you and get started on Kickstarter. And that's all free. I just like to help people. So there's that too. So
Now that's something for everyone out there to know, that the kindness to help other people get started, that's a wonderful thing there, Corissa.
yeah, well, I was very lucky. It's a very supportive group. And I said the infamous words, how hard can it be to make a comic book, when I first started? And it's incredibly difficult. I had people take me under their wing when I started. I got incredibly lucky. I didn't even know about Kickstarter when I started. So I'm very lucky that I found that those people found me and took me under their wing. And I want to pass it forward, pay it forward. So yeah, and I love helping and I love the community. So definitely.
Yes.
Well, again, thank you very much to take the time and effort to come here on Sealess Villains this early morning Saturday. And we want to thank everyone out there in podcast land, Miss Soul. Thank you. And from Evil Fett to Villainous Red, we want to say thank you, Corissa Grant.
Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Wonderful. Red, you want to tell them how to find you?
Find me somewhere. Yeah. Still early.
Find me through Corissa, because I'm going to start my own one. So no,
Well,
you can find.
if you join the group, anyone can post their stuff. So
Wonderful.
in the WordCast group, indie creators can post it, podcasters can post their links. We accept everyone in there. So
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful. You can find me at all social media at Evil Fed Cosplay. I take commission work. And again, Sealess Villains, the cultivator of costume and cosplay and comic book culture. And we're going to say goodbye. Thank you, Corissa. Thank you, Villainous Red. We're out.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Sealess Villains podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture. Make sure you